Hey guys, this is Lisa Varshine and I am here with a process video for a spread I'm doing with the Citrus Twist Kit May kit and add-ons, the May Life Crafted kit and add-ons. And I am super excited. When I got these in the mail, the colors are perfect. I absolutely love this alpha from the stamp market. And I've gotten dies from the stamp market, but I didn't even know they had stickers and these enamel dots, so I'm super excited to use these for the first time. Also some gorgeous patterns. Anyway, I've got a lot of great stuff to choose from, and for this process video, I chose a picture I took very recently of my daughter when we were outside in the driveway, and they were playing in the sprinkler, which was in our driveway. So she's got all the crazy wispy baby hair and having a snack, and she's super duper happy. And this for me is just my favorite photo that I've taken of her in a while, because she's 7, almost 8, and she's got this smile that's for the camera. And so right now it's really hard to capture her real, true, happy smile, and I got it. So I wanted to turn this into a spread and talk a little bit about her personality and her attitude right now, and how she is just my little ray of sunshine, getting me through this kind of weird time that we are in right now. So anyway, that is the photo. It is 12 by 12. I print my photos at home. For Christmas, I got an Epson oversized printer, so I can actually print up to 13 by 19 at home, and that's been a game changer for me. Even though, if any of you follow my work as Freckle Pickle, you know I don't do a ton of 12 by 12 spreads, but sometimes I get these photos and I just love them, and this was one of them. So for the journaling, I printed it just on this white, it's like a polar white cardstock in a typewriter font, and you can see that I've spaced it quite a bit apart, because my plan is to trim it into strips and then adhere it on here and then embellish. But I was just looking at these papers, these pattern papers. Even the 12 by 12s are so pretty. And actually it was, which one was it? It's one of these blue ones. Of course, it's not on the top anymore. I was thinking about actually putting, here it is, layering the white strips over a pattern paper so that just a tiny bit of the color and the pattern peeks out. But I don't know if that'll be too busy, you know, once I've got everything cut out. So I'm actually gonna jump off and trim these, because you don't need to watch that, and then I'll come back and we can play with all of our different fun stuff. Okay, so I stepped off to trim these into little strips. When I did it with my trimmer, I actually did them a little skinnier than I would normally do, because I'm thinking that I'm going to trim an additional strip of pattern paper to sit right underneath. And I'm gonna move this. I know it's kind of a small detail. Hopefully, come on, focus. I'll obviously have up close pictures. Okay, it just does not want to focus. Anyway, so I'll have up close pictures when I post this actual spread. Maybe I can just zoom in a little bit more. Hopefully you can see it a little better now. But anyway, so I've trimmed these and I've done one sample strip of pattern paper, and I love it. And I'm going with this blue, I don't know what you would call that. It almost is like a damask. But the color of the blue, I used a different filter that I never use with my photographs. I don't usually filter them this way. It's a lot more, I don't know, like towards the artsy scale of filtering versus just tweaking, you know, contrast and exposure. And this blue plays really well with the oranges that are in this. So I think that's what I'm gonna do. And then another decision I have to make about these word strips is when I trimmed them on my trimmer, I left every single line the same length, when obviously each line was different lengths, and I am going to trim each line accordingly. So I didn't know if I wanted it to be, uniform like this, or if I, you know, wanted them to have different lengths, varying lengths, and I think I want different lengths. So again, sorry, you don't want to watch me do this because it'll take me forever. I'm gonna step off and trim both the pattern paper and adjust the lengths of these, and then come back on and move on to our next step. Okay. Okay, so I have got all of these strips of the pattern paper, and I made some extra just in case. And then I went through and trimmed the lengths of all these different sentiments so that each one is just, they're not all a uniform length. And then my next step is I'm going to adhere the sentences to the pattern, you know, at the kind of at the middle to the best of my ability. I don't want it to look perfect. Not that I could even manage that if I did want it. All right, and then trim each one. Sorry, I'll try and do it a little bit more. Trim each one down. And then I just have to be careful, because I've done this before, that when it comes time, I'm gonna zoom in so you can see this a little better. So that when it comes time, I actually glue them to the picture in order, because I've done that before. It's very frustrating. I'm just using a rolling adhesive here. And I've got this little square of extra of the cardstock just to make sure that I don't get adhesive on the photo. I don't have a very big workspace right now. We went through a renovation, although I don't know if I can use that as an excuse anymore, because we finished, I think, in January. And I haven't put my life or my office back together yet. So I really, really love how this looks. There's some really pretty rainbow patterns that also would have been a nice pop of color to really make these stand out. But I think with, like I mentioned, how I filtered this photo, it's very sun washed, and I like that. And so I think, I don't know, this is what I'm going with. Okay. Almost done with this, so just bear with me. Another thing I've done with strips of journaling before, or not, I don't do it as often with strips, but I could do it, is I'll print my typed journaling on vellum and then adhere it to a photo. I love that look. That's something I've done quite often. But this photo, the true composition is in the actual photo. Ava is in the middle of the shot, and there's, you know, the background on the side and the background on the other, but I cropped it and printed it to leave this space on the left because I knew that's where I was going to include my journaling. I don't know if I got enough on the edge. And then I am almost done with this. I think this is the last one. And then, like I said, the tricky part is making sure I glue it in order. And then after this, I have to figure out what I'm gonna do for a title. So I'm not sure. I love those green alpha stickers from the stamp market that was included in the add-ons. So I might use those, but they're a really vivid green, like almost like a Kelly green, which is an awesome color, but I'm not sure it's gonna work here. So I gotta think about that. Okay, so that part is done. Thank you for being patient. And now I just need to put them in order. It's like a puzzle. All right, in case you were wondering, it says, I love everything about this picture. The joy on your face, the apple in your hand, the baby wisps framing your face. Here. And then there's something, which one comes next? Here we go. All of it, through all of this, you've been my light. Your positive attitude and delight in the simple things, your easy hugs and quick smiles, you are sunshine personified, and being your mom is my greatest honor and joy. All right, I wrote it, you wouldn't think it would be that difficult for me to put it together. And if you were wondering about the font, like I said, this is a free typewriter font that I've been using for years, well, for the 3 years that I've been memory keeping. And I printed it at, I think, 10 point for the size. Normally my journaling and all of my PL, my Project Life cards, my Project Life spreads and Traveler's Notebook, everything I usually do an 8-point font, but because of this, because of the scale of the photo, that's bothering me, I did it a little bit bigger this time. Alright, that's about right. And I'm trying to decide right now what I'm doing with the placement is, do I want them to be straight? Do I want them to be a little bit wonky so it looks like they're like that on purpose? I think I'm going to go with wonky because that way if I mess up it still looks fine. Do I want it up here? Sorry, a lot of this is trial and error. No, because then it starts getting into her face. I definitely don't want it. So I'm going to adhere starting at the bottom so I don't crowd the strips. I do want them somewhat tight together because once you add this background pattern, it starts to take up kind of a lot of space, and I don't want it to be this overwhelming part of the spread. Again, rolling adhesive with that cardstock in the back. I am not going to left justify these, so they're not going to be even on the left side either. I'm really and truly going to make these look wonky. Is that a word? I don't know. Basically crooked on purpose is what I'm going for. Alright, I do want them tight to that left, to the left side, but you can see here, you know, they're not, yeah, scoot it up, sorry, they're not even with one another. And we're almost done with this part. You know, if I wasn't talking you all through this, this would be a very quick and easy spread. I think, again, if you've seen any of my work, the level of difficulty is always very, very low. And once I glue this last one, I will hope and pray that I got the order of the journaling right. Okay. Then, awesome. Okay, so we've got our journaling on there, and it does look a little squished. But I figure by the time I put a title and maybe some embellishments up here, let's see what we've got. One of the add-on kit came with a bunch of really cute stickers. Let's see. I know I think I almost definitely want to use these enamel dots because the two pink colors, sorry, I'll zoom back out. The two pink colors are absolutely perfect with this photo. I know that's annoying, but my auto zoom is somehow broken. I gotta deal with that soon. All right, so here's the thing. I'm looking at these alpha stickers right now, and I think they're gonna be the wrong scale anyway, even if the color did work, and I don't think the color works. So I gotta think of something else. So I'm gonna go through these really quick because I don't wanna sit here and drive you crazy and come up with some options for our title. And I actually think there are gonna be a lot of good ones because there were 2 awesome sets of die cuts here, and then I've got some great puffy stickers. So I'll be right back and we'll talk about options. Okay, I'm back, and I looked through all of our different options for a title, and I came up with a bunch of different things, and I had a hard time deciding, but this was from the die cut pack, this awesome die cut, and it's Sunshine. It's in this beautiful script, and it just so happens that I say in here, you are sunshine personified, so that's just perfect. So I'm gonna go with that. Now it's black, so what you can't see very well, you know, part of this word is gonna sit in a very dark part of the photo, but the photo is printed on luster paper, so it's in between glossy and matte. And then obviously these die cuts are matte. So in person, this is super, there's a lot of contrast and you can see it, which I think will show better in a photo than a video, but I just wanted to let you guys know I'm not crazy and that I didn't pick a title that is completely invisible. I'm a little bit nervous about putting, using my roller adhesive. I'm only going to use it in a couple different spots because I don't want to tear it. And again, I don't know if you can see, I'm using that same square so I don't get the glue everywhere. So, let me pick it up. Alright, and I know one thing I'm going to want to do, or I plan to do, is use the tiny attacher to add some staples to this. So, well, it just dropped, so it looks like that's where we're gonna leave it. Don't you love it when that happens? But anyway, my whole point was I want to leave it kind of close to the left edge so that the tiny attacher can reach it. I would love to have it down a little bit, but I guess it's not worth ripping. I actually like that. That's good. All right, so, you know, I said that was the one I loved, but there were some really cool, there was a set, and I think these might have been from Pink Fresh Studio, these like speech bubbles, and this peach is really cool, and I think it doesn't kind of match the look and feel of the photo to me, but it would be a really fun way to do a title. Or if you had a picture like this of one of your kids or somebody in your family or even yourself, I like mixing a whole bunch of these. I think that's really interesting. That always looks really good. So tiny attacher, and then I think, I don't want to put my head, so I think I'm going to put it right there. I usually do two. I don't love the spacing, but it is what it is. And now I'm not gonna add too much more because, you know, for me, I love this photo and I've got the journaling. I really do not like where I put those staples. Maybe if they're just too close together. There, well, I may end up taking those out. We'll see. They ended up being too close together. Okay, now I wanted to add a couple of these enamel dots. I don't use enamel dots a lot, so I always get, oh, one of them popped out. So these are from Stamp Market, and I don't know if you can see, but the colors are gonna be amazing. So maybe right, I don't know, this is gonna be funny. There, is that one too big? I probably put it, it's too big. I might pop that off. It's okay. Then maybe one right here. And maybe a teeny tiny one. I'm not sure I'm loving these. It always takes me, I always second guess myself. Then maybe tiny one there. And then tiny one. And I definitely want to put a couple, at least one right there, a tiny one. I think I like those. It's too late now. I just fell in love with the colors. I think maybe it adds something. I think maybe I need another one. The light pink. Here we go. There. That's cute. All right, so I think I'm done. Again, you know, sometimes I hesitate to call these spreads because they end up being just giant photos with a little bit added to it, but this is what I like to do. And I love that the kit from Citrus Twist gives me so many options to do either crazy embellishments or just a few. So I hope you guys like that and got something from it. Maybe you'll get some ideas for your next project. Thank you for being here, and I hope you enjoy the kit, and please post your pictures and don't forget to tag us because we love to see what you guys create. Have a great weekend.